ABC Family presents an original movie classic.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Underrated Podcast. This is a podcast where we discuss the films that we feel are underrated, underappreciated, or those that have slipped under the radar and passed most people by. This show is a collaboration of friends, and together we are the Undercast Company. Today we're going to be discussing 2004 ABC Family originally film called Snow. It stars Tom Cavanaugh as Saint Nicholas himself, but in a different kind of twist on the Santa Claus lore. And it's my choice for this holiday season because it's actually one of my favorite Christmas movies. And yeah, so that's what we're going to be discussing. I know that some people on this panel might not have cared for it too well, but we're going to be discussing that. And if you guys don't mind, maybe I could start. So
go for it.
to kind of have a positive.
You want to introduce the crew we got here real fast?
Oh yeah. Sorry. So I am Ariel Ortiz. This is the bro.
Hi.
And then we got Alan Torres.
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Hey? And Derek McDuff.
Yo.
Alrighty. So yeah, I'll start just to start things off. This is since it premiered on the ABC Family long ago. Now it's Freeform. It's gone through multiple iterations, I think. Yeah. But
it was Fox Family when I was a kid.
Yeah, Fox Family.
Damn.
ABC Family, and then now Freeform. But anyway, so it stars Tom Cavanaugh, who this is how I got introduced. I know Alan, like we know him as the main event villain of Flash, Reverse Flash.
Our boy.
Yeah, our boy. But yeah, this is how I got introduced to him alongside Scrubs because he plays JD's brother.
That's how I know.
Yeah,
that's how I know.
Yeah, so I've always found this it's very cute Christmas movie. I know it's just it's at its core it's a TV movie, but those ones get in my opinion get the time. Some of them have that special spark that allows them to shine in that kind of media. And it's always been my favorite Christmas movie. Still now watching it today just tells us this interesting kind of twist on the Santa Claus lore in a way of the story that he tells in the middle of basically the first Santa Claus was this miser that got cursed, and then eventually to give away his riches essentially, and then eventually started to fall in love with it, and then became a caring person, and then that curse / now gift got passed on from generation to generation. So yeah, it was always a very nice break in the classic Santa Claus story of Here Comes Santa Claus and Miracle on 34th Street to me, and so I kind of grasped it like that. And then like I said, I love Tom Cavanaugh. and this is what made it very jarring to see him as a bad guy, but on The Flash, but he plays it so well. And then he's just such a really interesting actor that kind of is very I want to say expressive in his face, and he's just I'm so glad that in The Flash now he gets to just play all these different versions of Harrison Wells, and just gets to just show to his full bounty all these different characters that he could play and stuff. He's a pretty good character actor, but yeah. So that's why I chose it, and it's my pick, and why I recommend it. Mm-hmm. So. Maybe go Derek. Let's hear Derek.
Oh, me. Okay.
Yeah. as we talked about in White Christmas.
If you didn't know,
Derek
hates Christmas.
I do.
So we brought him onto the podcast.
On my other podcast on another Undercast Company production of You've Never Seen for this month of December. Me and Derek discussed White Christmas, and in that episode, if you go back and listen to it, please, he kind of revealed that he's not really a person of classic Christmas spirit. I'll say.
Spirit? Well, I was joking.
I'm regular Scrooge.
He's an alternative.
Yeah, I played Scrooge once in play.
Oh my gosh!
Yay!
So
you
perfectly
just step into all of these the more I get to know you, we've known each other for almost 5 years, but then there's always stuff that pops up and of course. Of course.
Technically it was Scrooge when he was young, but still, it counts. But yeah, like you guys were saying, I am a fan of more kind of the alternative Christmas stuff. You're not going to catch me listening to the Mariah Carey Christmas song or Jingle Bells. I will much rather be listening to something by a Christmas song by the Killers, or even something
Waitresses.
Sure. Or
that song is dope. I'm kind of on you with that. There's a song by the Waitresses they always play on K-Rock over here around Christmas time, and that's the only Christmas song I like. It's about missing Christmas. So I guess we'll do it next year, whatever.
Yeah. Or even something Jingle Bell Rock, Chuck Berry, stuff like that, And I'm the same way with Christmas movies. When it comes to Christmas movies, I don't like the stuff typically that is just kind of it's Christmassy and here's Santa, and I like the stuff that is kind of the more offbeat alternative Christmas stuff.
What's your take on Home Alone? I was just thinking about that.
I haven't seen it actually since I was a kid. I liked it when I was a kid.
When you were a kid, okay.
I don't know if I would like it as an adult. I'd have to go back and rewatch it. I actually just yesterday, for the first time, saw Miracle on 34th Street, the remake from the 90s. That's another thing. That was also another Christmas movie that so I don't really like the kind of here's the traditional Christmas stuff. I like things like Die Hard, or I think a movie that needs more respect as a Christmas movie, like we talked about in the other podcast, is Catch Me If You Can. So those kind of Christmas movies that do something a little different, because I feel like Christmas movies can be a little saccharine. And this movie was very, very, very saccharine. It was very much just okay, here it's it was just a lot of just kind of Christmassy, really just hitting you over the head with it. It wasn't what I was expecting. I really thought it was going to be a more kind of one of those movies you see. I was thinking, it's an Christmas original movie, on a TV channel. So I was thinking the Hallmark original ones, where it's always there's a guy who he doesn't have the Christmas spirit, and then he meets a lady who's a nice lady, and she owns a baker. She's a baker, and then she warms his heart or whatever, and and that's what I thought it was going to be.
A Hallmark joint.
Was it Christmas Inn? Right? Is that the
Christmas Inn? Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn. No, not Holiday Inn. The one with
Lacey. Hallmark joint, dude. I love it.
It's damn it. I can't remember it, but there's a trilogy of it.
Meet the Fuckers.
There's a million of them. Yeah. But I thought it was gonna be that, and I thought I thought Tom Cavanaugh was gonna be a salty guy, and then he was gonna meet this nice lady, and she was gonna warm his heart, and she's like, this is what Christmas is really about. And when he was young, hot, quote unquote Santa Claus. And I was not what I was expecting. I think and part of the reason I was expecting that, other than that, just every Hallmark Christmas movie, is I feel like Tom Cavanaugh is best when he is kind of a little bit of a salty dude, he's on Scrubs, he's kind of a trickster who's got kind of a little bit of a rebellious streak. You guys mentioned how he was the villain on The Flash. I don't think he's kind of got one of those faces, where he's just kind of almost a punch bowl face, and he doesn't seem like the most sincere guy. Not he's he's just kind of one of those guys who seems
you need to watch The Flash because you get the whole spectrum of Tom Cavanaugh. You get the evil Tom Cavanaugh, which I didn't think that it would pull off, because from seeing him in this and then in Scrubs, of just like, he's a fun-loving guy. How can he be a bad guy? And then he just blows it out of the park. But then then he's like explored like the grumpy guy, and then
he seems mischievous is the best way I can put it. You know, like he's kind of like, he seems like he's got kind of like one of those, just kind of like, he's like a little bit of a trickster. Like he's got that little bit of that Loki vibe, you know. And that's kind of what I was expecting from him here, and it wasn't that at all. And honestly, it was hard for me to get through this movie. I don't want to rag on it too much because I know you love it, Ariel. And I try to always, be like, okay, here's like, every movie is like somebody loves. It was really hard for me. It was just like the most. It was just the most like made for TV thing I've ever. And there was like I think it's interesting when a lot of Christmas movies do the same thing, where they're like, okay, we're gonna like explain the lore. Like there's always a scene like in Miracle on 34th Street where they're like, okay, how does Santa get to all these places? And like in Miracle on 34th Street, it's like Santa can slow down time. And in Arthur Christmas, it's like the elves have this whole operation. And this one, it's like Santa can travel through mirrors. And I'm like, that's an interesting wrinkle to the lore. And like how they had, and it's like, oh, Santa came about because of a wizard's curse. And it's like, there is some interesting world building going on in this movie. That's like there was some weird stuff that I was like, this is some weird additions to the Santa Claus lore. I was just like, okay, all right, Santa can travel through mirrors. Why not? Like that's a thing. I think it was also interesting. This is more just kind of like interesting than like it's necessarily bad or good, but like all three of the leads, I was like, I know you from something. Like Tom Cavanaugh, I knew kind of going in because we talked about it before that, like he was from Scrubs, because I kind of like was like, oh, what's he from? Oh, he's from Scrubs for me. And then I had seen like a little bit, like I watched the Crisis on Infinite Earth crossover, so I saw him in that, in the Arrowverse. Same thing with the romantic lead, Ashley Williams. I was like, what the fuck do I know her from? And then I looked it up, exactly, How I Met Your Mother, and she's the kind of the baker that Ted falls in love with, who's a recurring character in a couple of the seasons, who I think, and me and Alan kind of talked about this, that like that's who Ted should have ended up with, because she is great.
Oh yeah.
She was dope.
Yeah, she broke his heart,
like
though,
classic Schmosby.
Yeah, I mean, she kind of, I think she had a point, like, hey, that, like, I'm not gonna get to it, but like I was on her side. And then the guy Buck, who's the like sleazy, just like he's like a big game hunter who's like hunting reindeer, and he brought one from the North Pole down to this whatever version of this bizarro version of the Santa Ana Zoo, or San Diego Zoo.
Santa Ana Zoo. You live right
that's
next
right
to
across
it.
the street.
You should,
Now the stalkers are gonna find me. But yeah, the San Diego Zoo. It was like because they were kind of like a weird version of San Diego. Like what was it? Santa something? I don't know. It was supposed to be San Diego.
San Ernesto.
Yeah.
San Ernesto.
But like, but yeah, like the bad guy Buck, who was just like this really sleazy guy who was maybe her ex-boyfriend. I don't know. He was just like, I was like, where do I know this guy from? And I was like, oh shit, Patrick Fabian. He's in Breaking Bad.
Huh?
So like
he's in a lot of things where he always plays a bad guy, essentially.
Okay, he's really good. Like they're all good actors. Like they're all in other stuff. And I think they just caught him early in their careers. Like they're all kind of like underrated actors. I feel like none of them have really blown up. Like Patrick Fabian is a recurring, like almost he's like a regular on Breaking Bad, but he's not really a major character. But he's always really good at that.
No, I think you're thinking.
Better Call Saul. That's what I keep saying. Breaking Bad. Yeah, Better Call Saul, the spinoff. He's really good on that. I love that show, and so it was. It was like, okay, they were doing what they could with this movie. So I got to give them, all three of them, their credit, because I did believe their performances, even when it was just like, he's like, yeah, we're gonna go and live in the North Pole. And I was like, bro, you kissed her like 10 minutes ago, one time. Like now you're moving off to the North Pole.
Love,
but it wasn't exactly brief encounter, but like sure. But yeah, I don't know. I don't want to harp on it too much. It was not my kind of Christmas movie. It's not going to become a staple for me. I'll just put it that way. I don't know if that's all I'll say, I guess.
It's gonna become like now a yearly thing of us trying to like find you a staple.
Yeah.
Because it's like I didn't get in White Christmas. You're like, I could put it in the background when I'm like cooking Christmas dinner. I'm like, what? Like,
well, you always have, when you're like at Christmas and you have a movie in the background like that, that's why A Christmas Story is always like on. You never sit down and watch A Christmas Story, but it's always on at Christmas.
Yeah, but okay. It'll be an ongoing thing. Will be an ongoing.
Yeah, I mean, my roommate just tried to do the same thing with Miracle on 34th Street, the Richard Attenborough version, and it did not work for me. But there is one Christmas movie that is actually a regular Christmas movie that I like, and that's Arthur Christmas. But yeah, if you guys can find me another one, I would love it. But this didn't exactly do it.
Mm-hmm. So, Alan, what do you think? Because it's our boy.
The whole like Santa Claus lore thing. I was gonna ask like, what is your guys' like, I guess go to like, what's your favorite like Santa Claus lore thing? Like, there's the mirrors, and then there's like I don't know what else you guys said. Like, there's the
like Santa Claus, the Santa Claus too. Like I don't know if that's the thing that I want to know about Santa Claus. Like
there's
Claus.
some weird lore in the Santa Claus.
Does Santa Claus have to die for the other Santa Claus to become Santa Claus? That's the thing.
It's in the clause. You gotta look at it. Yeah. You gotta read
it. Also, how did no one else how did Santa never fall off the roof before in all the times? Because it seems like that someone would do that. Yeah. Like, also the elves saw him before he fell off the roof. So did they know that was going to happen?
Because the elves are the real lobbyists.
I guess it's just like if somebody comes back in, like, they just are the Santa Claus. Like, that's the whole thing of like, you put on the suit, you're the big guy. That's it. Like, we don't question it. Like, it's like freaking like if a dictator came in and like drove out another dictator, the people of that country are basically like, yeah, you're our leader.
They wear red hats
But no, anyway, I do like the Santa Claus, but that's I think my favorite lore is this one. Actually, I think that's why it grabbed me so much as like it still does, is just this interesting kind of take on like truthfully, I think this is kind of now looking at it today, I think it has an analogy to Beauty and the Beast in a way, where you have a miser kind of putting a curse on this guy, but then instead of him like basically like withering away, he actually becomes like a better person for it, without the girl's help in this case. But then you also have like that Gaston character of a hunter as well. So, and Beauty and the Beast is my favorite Disney princess movie, so that might be also.
Really, I didn't know that.
And Tangled, yeah.
That's a good story. Mm-hmm.
I think maybe that's kind of like this also has like a twist on the Beauty and the Beast, kind of like in an analogy. But this is my favorite Santa Claus lore, I guess.
That one singular story that he told, that was a really good story.
Well, what's your Santa Claus lore? Favorite Santa Claus lore from the movie?
Gotta look at the shelf. Do I have anything?
You don't have anything.
It doesn't have to specifically be a movie. It can be like a show or.
I have the Polar
book or whatever.
I don't know. Shit. This is a hard one. Polar Express doesn't know.
It doesn't have a Santa Claus.
It's just Santa Claus. Yeah. I think just Santa Claus. That's
has the thing with the bell.
What's that?
That's more about belief. In Santa Claus? What?
The one. Fred Claus. Yeah. Fred Claus.
It is an interesting, like.
I relate to Fred Claus. Yeah. Like that brother. Everyone wants to die.
What? I've not seen that movie.
Nobody likes Fred Claus. That's why he's like yeah, they're like, fuck you, Fred. You're not Santa. Santa's the one that gives us the.
Yeah, I know everybody's addicted to Fred Claus, but yeah.
But Fred Claus, he's like. I don't remember the movie.
Oh my God.
Nobody remembers Fred Claus. Fucking Paul Giamatti doesn't remember Fred Claus.
Paul Giamatti was a good Santa.
Yeah.
Paul Giamatti.
But Alan, what's yours?
Or I was gonna say, what was yours?
I mean, it's. I'm gonna sound like a broken record, but it's Arthur Christmas. Like I love all the shit they do with that.
You
movie.
believe in a militaristic Christmas?
No,
Like
that's
a militarized North Pole.
like it's because it's got like the history. It's like, oh, back in the old days we had this Santa, and like, you know, it's got the old guy who's clinging, like the Grand Santa they call him, who's like clinging to the old ideals. But then you've got, you know, Hugh Laurie Santa, who's like Steve, who's like, oh, this is the new way we're gonna do it. It's all militarized, and it's like neither of you guys are like focusing on what really matters, and it doesn't really matter how the present gets delivered. It just matters that the kid gets it, and I think that's kind of like the most interesting thing. It's like, yeah, like there's all these bells and whistles, and they do a cool job explaining it, and that was kind of like what the trailers focused on. Was like, oh, this will tell you how the every kid gets a present, but that doesn't really matter. What matters is that like the kid gets the present, and I think that was like really the cool message. That while they explained it, and there's like, yeah, it's been this way 100 years ago, and it's been this way now, and like this Santa got seen during World War II. That stuff is all explained really cool, but like it's like that doesn't really matter. Capitalism, it's just like, who cares about any of this? Like it's just that like the kid gets the present and the kid is happy. And it doesn't matter. Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's not like Miracle on 34th. That was my problem with Miracle on 34th Street. It's like capitalism is bad for
Macy's
this company,
propaganda.
but it's good for this company. Don't worry. Like it's like if there's this one big evil corporation, we don't want them to succeed. But this other big evil corporation, they're the good guys. Like, okay. Sorry,
Doesn't
that's
make me realize how many Christmas movies I've never seen. Like every one you guys are dropping, I'm like, I've never seen.
Yeah. But what were your thoughts on this movie, Alan?
Oh, thoughts on it? It was kind of difficult to get through. I'll be honest. I would say the first 20 minutes. The first 20 minutes, I was kind of like, because it starts, and I kind of felt like I was watching a Christmas episode of like a show. Like it just kind of started, and I was like, oh, okay, all right.
It's an ABC Family joint, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Fox
25 Days of Christmas.
It has that TV show vibe, TV movie vibe.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I realized that Tom Cavanaugh was like the James Marsters? No, James Marsters. He's like
Marsden?
Cyclops in the X-Men movies. Marsden.
James Marsden.
James
Oh,
Marsden.
my boy, young Professor X, sexy Professor X.
No, what?
No,
That's James McAvoy.
Oh, wrong. Okay, my bad. Oh,
Wow.
it's no, he's shitty
It's
Cyclops. Okay.
Yeah, Cyclops. Like, I felt like Tom Cavanaugh and James Marsden were like always in these movies, like these like straight to TV movies, and like they were always. I felt like they never had the chance to really branch out. Now Tom Cavanaugh, he has like all these amazing opportunities on the Flash to show his like acting chops and stuff. So I was really happy to kind of like see that later on, because I always looked at him in like these old movies where I'm like, he's probably a really good actor, but he's always just so like, I gotta be cutesy and look at me, I'm Santa Claus. And now, like, after watching, I was like, it's cute. It's definitely like a cute Christmas movie kind of thing. Like, plot is just, it's all like just cute and like save Christmas and everything. Like the more you guys are mentioning all these Christmas movies, I'm like, damn, I don't think I can say much on this because I don't watch many Christmas movies. I think the only things I think I watch Christmas are like Batman Returns and like Christmas episodes of like Batman the Animated Series. That's it. But yeah, no, it's a cute movie. My girlfriend jumped in and was watching with me, and like she really dug it, and she was like, "Oh, this is really cute," and I like it, and I was kind of like, "All right," and I was watching it with her, and I was like, "Okay, you know what? It's not horrible, but right." It was one of those things where I was like, I have to punch a wall to like feel like a man.
Oh.
It's an insult to your masculinity.
Yeah.
You have to remind yourself what you are. For this Christmas shit.
What were your thoughts?
My thoughts? It definitely has that. I think what kind of made me melt my brain a little bit was the straight to TV vibes that it gave off. And then I remember seeing this movie a little bit years ago, and it didn't feel nearly as old as it did now watching it. I don't know if I was just watching it on a newer TV or whatever is just old, and then it was yeah. But it's very simple. It's Christmas. I think he does an all right job at being a quirky little Scott Pilgrim Santa Claus that he is in the it's very cheesy. I think it's just one where you watch during the Christmas season. If you do have a partner or a significant other, and you'll be like, hey, you wanna watch Christmas movies? And then this could be one that you watch. It's cute. Yeah, it's like Alan said, it's cute. It's cute, and it's very simple. It has those vibes, especially with characters like the hunter, who always plays that character. And then you just have that was a weird subplot, I guess, with him and the rich dude that was paying
yeah.
to have a
Well,
reindeer
he's like-
killed.
'cause he's like,
Oh, I
"Like,
love that rich dude.
He's
He was so horrible. I loved him. He was just
Relatable?
like, you drive a hard bargain.
I know he's
You
like
got a deal. And I was
it's
like,
just so
okay.
that part was so ridiculous. He trapped this flying reindeer and he's doing these like he's almost flying because he has these accelerated jumps and he's catching some serious air. And he's like, "I'll give him to you for $20,000." Like, how about half of that? And I'm like, what the fuck? Wait, what?
That's some Trumpism business mentality.
Yeah,
The art of the deal.
like the art of it's the
Yeah,
art of
art
the
of
deal.
the
You go like,
Yeah.
all right, you want me to buy this? For
Listen,
20?
I will hunt the reindeer for half of that. All right, that's what I want.
That was good. I've never heard that before. I don't think that was a good impression.
Thanks.
So it's like you sell them for 20,000. You got to go for 10,000. I'm gonna buy it off you for 10,000. That's how much this flying reindeer is worth from Santa Claus. What the fuck? And then let's see what else. The cast. It's kind of cute seeing how Santa Claus comes into all of these people's lives and he makes them happy. Like he gets that old dude to after like
20 years of them
since his
pining for this woman.
yeah, he finally got to lay down
Oh,
with her
yeah.
on Christmas Eve
Nice.
and like go to Paris.
The horniest old man.
Yeah.
Well, I
Legit.
mean, the guy is trying to like.
So he had like a really smooth line though. He's like, "I don't need this wine because I'm so intoxicated by your looks." And
Oh
you
my
know.
god.
Oh man, it's good for them, and
Slang
the
pipe on Christmas.
the other family with the young boy, and he's like, my mom's always working, she's never home, and then it's like, hell yeah, she's an essential worker, she's a boss, she's awesome.
And he knows she's awesome.
But it's
Yeah.
just good to, it's like that kind of stuff. That's just cheesy Christmas stuff. In terms of Christmas tradition, like watching this annually, I'd say if you watch this movie with like all other Christmas movies, yes. To me though, it doesn't really stand out too much. It's enjoyable just to see the quirkiness of the two main characters, the love interests. It's like that for me. It's like the same reason why people watch Hallmark movies.
Mhm.
It's just because you want to feel.
Yeah.
Anyways, so
Bro, go watch a Requiem for a Dream if you want to feel.
if you want to
feel like
a certain
shit.
way. Yeah.
But yeah. I mean, I definitely understand that. I mean, this is the kind of movie that I tap into when I, like it's that Hallmark movie. But it just always like this in the sequel, because there's a sequel to this movie called Snow
2.
to Brain Freeze. Yeah,
Oh
that's
man.
but these movies just like really like lighten my heart, and it is definitely, if you're looking for that Christmas movie, then this is perfect for you. Like if you're, you want to just dive into like the the lightheartedness of Christmas and I know it's really hard, especially for this year, to kind of find that, but it's a good movie to watch for that. And like I know that it's not some people's cup of tea.
It's got the
and, like,
Christmas
I know
spirit.
as a lot of people like kind of like find it a little bit harder to find that Christmas spirit nowadays. It's definitely is a movie that like with Alan's girlfriend, it's it's a lighthearted movie
Because people
just
love
cute.
him. Like when he went up to the attic, like
Mhm.
he just never got down from the attic, and I didn't hear you telling him to come back down from the attic. You were too busy staring at just like she was.
I know, because he has a very beautiful blue eyes.
Oh, I thought
His
you were
blue
gonna say.
eyes weren't what she was staring at, dude.
How could she even see anything in those baggy ass pants, though?
I couldn't see anything because it was pitch black on the TV, and the movie was old, and I was like, it just looks like void to me.
It's because the app. I have a DVD that I need to.
Oh,
get
the
out of
HD
storage.
where you could see it, like
Well, that's a better quality of video. But
There was some effects in this too that like straight up looked like they made the Rock in The Mummy 2 look like fucking incredible. Like it was like some PS1 graphic reindeers.
Not true. That's not true.
I
That's
disagree.
true. It
I'm
was
not gonna lie.
PS2. It was PS2. I watched it and I said it's not that. I mean, for 2004 standards, TV ABC Family. I mean, it's like obviously it's not bad.
Well,
I mean,
it's
it's bad.
It was solid.
It was a
Yeah. I don't
texturing
know.
issue, not a actual. It was
There
just
was
texturing.
a couple scenes that I was just like, oof.
They didn't have the photogrammet. Oh, well, are you talking about reindeer or mirror technology? Because the mirrors were a little.
Both.
The reindeer were perfect. Motion captured. They just didn't have the photogrammetry.
but,
It was like
Um,
Power Rangers like graphics for the time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was like
Yeah.
Ninja Storm graphics. Whatever Power Rangers was on at the time.
2004. They did
Space
what
Odyssey.
they can. But anyway, so if you're looking for that kind of movie, that these two in the corners here don't really care for, then look no further than Snow and hopefully the sequel as well. So I know you guys is like kind of like might not recommend this, but I do.
I'm not gonna lie. Like I said, when my girlfriend jumped on to watch it, she was like, kind of like, "Oh my god, it's so cute," and we are getting into it, like watching, and I was like, you know what, like it does give you that Christmas spirit. Like I kind of like brushed the Scrooge off of me, and I was like, all right, I guess it's kind of cute. It's fun. And again, like I used to watch a lot of Christmas stuff as a kid. Now, not as much, but like it kind of did give me that like, all right, it's Christmas time.
Yay!
It-
Makes you feel like a kid
So,
again.
Like especially like if you just want to have it on in the background, or you're just having a Christmas marathon, you're like throwing Home Alone, the Santa Claus, and Batman Returns. We'll just watch Batman Returns. But,
Yeah, I mean, now I'm thinking about I just want to mention I want to throw out a couple traditional Christmas movies that I do actually enjoy. Because there's a couple adaptations of A Christmas Carol that I think are pretty rad. Scrooged with Bill Murray. That is kind of halfway. It walks the line between traditional Christmas movie and kind of alternative Christmas movie. Muppets Christmas Carol, because everything in the Muppets is fucking great. You've got Michael Caine as a great Scrooge. And then there's a new one that just came out this year that I want to know if you guys have seen, called Happiest Season, that I think is a pretty solid movie. It's one of those, it falls into the category of just kind of like better than average rom-coms that I had been watching a lot of for a couple months ago. And this one, Happiest Season, definitely falls into that category. So it's kind of just like, a Christmas rom-com, but it's kind of it's nice because it's an LGBT Christmas rom-com. Like it's about two women in a relationship, and she's going home to kind of meet the family. And
We just saw the ad. We just saw the commercial for this.
it's on Hulu.
Yeah, it's a Hulu original. It's it's and I just saw this tweet that I was like I related to a lot, where it's like somehow they managed to cast every person I've ever had a crush on in this movie, because it's like the cast is like Aubrey Plaza and Mackenzie Davis and Kristen Stewart and like Allison Brie. It's just like it's a really solid cast. The mom is Maureen Steinbro. But yeah, it's kind of like, yeah, this is a solid rom-com that's Christmas themed. It's nice because that is kind of like Christmas movies. There's not a lot of representation like that, so that was really cool too. So that's one I would definitely recommend if you're looking for something that is it's a Hulu original. So if you're looking for kind of an original kind of made for TV / made for streaming one, that's one I gotta throw out for everybody. It just premiered about a couple weeks ago. So yeah.
Nice.
You know what? I'm surprised you guys haven't brought up Love Actually. Isn't that like a big
That was
rom-com
huge.
Christmas movie?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, wow.
British.
It's not one that I've ever wanted to go out of my
It's-
way to see.
British people.
You're just like not connecting at all today. But yeah, it's I enjoy it. It's very sad, bittersweet. It's definitely, I think, encapsulates kind of like
This
what
movie
real
or
people.
Love Actually?
No, Love Actually.
Oh, okay.
Like what really kind of like like that the Christmas season, yeah, brings joy and stuff, but things are not as perfect as you would like during the season. Like, kind of like brings a little bit of reality to it. You have like you have like the character that gets cheated on, and then the one that's like has to take care of her brother, so she kind of like puts her life on hold. The the one that loves essentially his best friend's wife, and yeah, so I enjoy Love Actually. I mean,
I've only seen parts of it, but our former cast company member, well, he's still part of it, but he's gone for the time being. Fred, that I think I'm gonna speak for him. I think that's his favorite Christmas.
Oh,
movie.
that's awesome!
Like legit, if he was here, he would have been like, "Love Actually is the best fucking Christmas movie." Blah, 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 it has Bill Nye.
No, let me tell you guys right now. This is what's up, all right? Love Actually is the best.
Yeah.
Legit,
Oh no,
he
I'm very
loves
surprised, but I'm very I love that he likes Love Actually. It's a very nice surprise.
He loves it, actually. Yeah.
That was good.
That's cute. You have a favorite Christmas movie?
I did say one of them kind of basic, but I guess after rewatching Home Alone,
The first or the second one?
both.
Both, yeah.
I like both actually. It's kind of strange, but
Second
I
one's
just
the reason why I don't want to get it.
but besides those two, probably Arthur Christmas as my animated. You have to love all of the original
Bearskin Rants.
yeah, those stop motion
I just
animation
heard the name of
ones.
it.
Yeah,
Those are classics. Watch those every.
Yeah.
Santa Claus is Coming to Town.
Little
The Year
Drummer
Without a
Boy,
Santa Claus.
Without a
You're
Santa Claus.
Heat Miser and
Mhm.
but those for movies, I think that's pretty much it. I'm trying to think of anything off the top of my head. I think that's. I mean, Die Hard. No, Die Hard is a good movie. Die Hard is a good movie. But yeah.
Yeah. Besides this one, definitely the classic claymation ones. Dang, there's a lot. Like we have a lot of Christmas movies that we cycle through here.
Oh, how could I
Elf is a good
forget?
one.
Oh yeah, Elf is a good
Elf is
one.
a good one.
But my
Elf is good.
favorite, actually, my classic favorite, my go-to is always Holiday Inn.
Holiday Inn.
So that's why I brought that one up.
Like I said, White Christmas.
Because Holiday Inn's one that you can watch like
anytime because it's multiple
holidays.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
Rise of the Guardians is another good one. That's
Rise of the Guardians.
another a lot
Rise
of
the
holidays.
I think that will have to be on our next
Yeah,
year's.
even though that one,
underrated.
takes place technically at Easter, but it still, does cover all the bases for all the
Really?
different. Yeah,
No, there's no.
because there's all the Easter eggs get smashed at one point. Like,
I think it's a Christmas movie. Has to be.
No, it just feels like because it came out during Christmas and
And it has all the like Santa Claus and Jack Frost. Yeah.
yeah.
And so again, another one I'm surprised you guys haven't brought up is Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah,
It's
that's
okay.
true.
Yeah, I like it. I like
Nightmare
it.
Before Christmas is great. It's just because like those ones you know. For me, I
They're
was
like a
trying to
staple kind of thing.
yeah.
And
Corpse
I-
Bride is pretty good too,
Corpse
but that's not Christmas. I
Halloween
know.
And then like I talked about the claymate, and I know I mentioned this on the Christmas episode last year, but I do love that Jack Frost one where he fights a steampunk army of robots. I fucking that's so weird and ridiculous. Even though
What?
the original Jack Frost Killimation, like the same by.
Oh, I
he
never
fights
watched
a
that one.
Russian guy who has an army of steampunk robots and it's like he's got like his
The
ice
narrator
powers.
is the groundhog from.
Yeah, he's
Groundhogs.
like, he's just like, let me tell you a story It's about
That's so
Jack
weird.
Frost. It's weird. It's like, and like Jack Frost is the groundhog shadow. There's a lot of weird lore in that. That's like the original cinematic universe. Is all the like stop motion like holiday movies.
Yeah, that is the original cinematic universe.
That was-
speaking of which-
Yeah, that was like the original Black, because he was originally like a bad guy in something, but like he came back as like had his own thing. That's like the original Black Widow movie was the Jack Frost claymation movie.
Rudolph in that one. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Mhm.
Taught kids not to be racist. That one's important. The Charlie Brown's classic.
Oh yeah, Charlie Brown Christmas definitely.
Fantastic
Mhm.
music. Oh, I love the music.
Oh.
I love it so much.
I finally got one. I was like, damn, I really haven't seen a lot of Christmas stuff. But I mean, obviously, Batman Returns is like my go-to Christmas movie. But Black Mirror's White Christmas episode, that one is my favorite Christmas episode. That one is so
I still need to
fucking
watch
good and
Black Mirror.
intense.
Maybe
I
we
was
could
gonna
do
make-
it a
Oh my
three-way,
god,
Yeah, I
'cause
was
I've
gonna
never
make a
seen
joke
Black Mirror.
when we were
I
watching.
love Black Mirror.
When I watched White Christmas for you've never seen, I was gonna make a joke like, oh yeah, so you wanted me to watch that episode of Black Mirror, White Christmas, right, Ariel?
Oh no, I've never seen Black Mirror. We had probably
It's so good.
third.
It's
our
it's
third
fucking
podcast.
solid.
Get ready to get depressed. Get ready
Yeah.
for that, and you're gonna
Yeah.
want it all the time.
Mhm.
No, but I'm talking about
Well-
like, for our third podcast and of our own cinematic kind of like universe. Derek, you could. We could do
Oh
Black Mirror.
yeah, we have a podcast. Undercast Company podcast universe.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's this one we're in right now.
But anyway, let's wrap this up. we,
For
Yeah, we were
Okay.
just kind of like
It-
just
it-
listing movies for a bit.
yeah,
It's
well, I mean, this
Christmas.
is our last episode of the year. It's our special
Yeah.
Christmas episode, so we get
Mhm.
kind of branch out into all of our other, like all other kind of like Christmas related discussions over here. But yeah, let's wrap this thing up. So thanks everybody for listening and watching. If you can, hit that subscribe button on your podcasting app to make sure that you're always notified when new episodes of the show comes out. And continue to hear us babble. Please, if you're willing to give us a rating and review, it really helps, and lets us know what you'd like to hear from us in this podcast, because we can only get better with your help. Once again, we have the Undercast Company, and if you're looking, we've kind of mentioned our two new new podcasts. A few episodes have been out. We have the podcast I host, which is You've Never Seen ? Exclamation mark. That where I discuss a movie, such as me discussing with Derek White Christmas on movies that the person has never seen, but it's considered part of pop culture and cinematic history. So yeah, if you go and look that up on podcasting app, look out for the Screaming Woman in Green. And then Derek has a podcast that he hosts, which is kind of similar, where he introduces people to TV shows that they've never seen by providing them with one gateway episode, quote unquote, that could introduce and launch a person's interest in that show.
And it's called Gateway Episodes.
Gateway episodes. Yeah, look for the White Archway, wherever you get your podcast scene. And so with that, thank you to Alan and Derek for discussing my favorite Christmas movie with me, and thank you to the bro for discussing it as well.
Yeah. Real fast, I just want to mention, we're at the end of the year here, and I just want to mention for the start of next year, we got something cool coming down the pipe. We're going to be doing a mini series on this. So on this podcast, we're going to be doing a mini series on what I call the big swing movies, which are those movies that are like big and super weird and ambitious, that have like a lot of world building, and just like they tend to never make money at the box office, but they are just like a feast for the eyes. And so we've each kind of picked a big swing movie, and for this miniseries, we usually do bi-weekly episodes for Underrated, but for January, we're going to be doing one a week. So every Monday in January, you'll be getting a new episode. So you guys are gonna get some extra Underrated from us talking about these big swings. We've each picked a movie that falls into this category. My pick was Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets. Then we've got Alita Battle Angel, which was Alan's pick, Tomorrowland, which was Ariel's pick, and of course Sergio's pick, the very underrated Gods of Egypt. So
I did pick that one. For some reason, I thought I picked, because it's a fucking. How can you not forget about that?
You forget it all the time.
I thought I picked Jupiter's Ascending.
No, it's not. You always pick
Could be a
Gods of Egypt.
So wait, Tomorrowland, Alita Battle Angel, Valerian, and the Planet of a Thousand Cities, and then damn, I swear to God, I thought I picked Jupiter's Ascending.
That could be another episode.
Yeah, like we could come back to it at some point, do some more big swings. But yeah, those are going to be the four we're talking about for January. So we hope you guys join us for that, because I love these movies. They're so weird and unique, and I'm really excited to talk about them.
Oh yeah, so this big swing is kind of like a special category of underrated and underrated movies, and so we're kind of like gonna be possibly in the next year of 2021, kind of like having these special kind of like months mini series every once in a while to kind of introduce these like kind of like special category of underrated movie. Alrighty, well with that, thank you everybody for listening once again and watching us if you're on the YouTubes and watching this. So thanks for being amazing.
Merry Christmas,
holiday.
Merry Christmas,
happy
yeah.
holiday. Hanukkah, and happy Festivus.
Passion of the Christ.
That's an Easter movie.
Favorite Christmas movie?
Yeah, you're right.